Hey guys, your friend Marlo here, and I wanted to share this video with you guys. It's actually a video that I do every week. It's called the Pretty Mystic Weekly over on my network. I don't do them anywhere else, and I never ever share them on YouTube. However, I feel that the message that came out for this particular week is of utmost importance for the entire collective. So I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys. It is about the eclipse that's at the end of this week. So get your notepad out. Get ready, take some notes because all of this information is extremely important. And let me know what you think in the comments. So, without further ado, here is the Eclipse Weekly. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to your weekly reading. I have no idea what the dates are. Let me cheat and look at my calendar here. Oh, it's starting today because I'm a day late, y'all. Sorry. It is for the last week of April, which is the 24th through the 30th. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know we are officially in Taurus season, which is, the dopest season of all seasons. You know what I'm saying? Am I just saying that because I'm a Taurus? Yes, that is exactly why. So let's go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what is going on for the week of the 24th through the 30th. Okay. I feel like I need to. When is this eclipse? Oh, that's why they said that. So we have a solar eclipse on the 30th. So that is, wow, that is Saturday. Oh, this should be interesting. Okie dokie, lemon choking. All right. That's fascinating. I think I can do that after. Okay. I was trying to figure out what they were telling me to do. Okay. So our first card for Sunday and for the theme of the week, or today, literally, we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So there's a little bit of a mental stagnancy kicking off the week, to where not necessarily that everyone may feel stuck, but it's more or less feeling like not knowing how to move forward, right? It's not really knowing what's next, what's the next path to take, um, like how to walk the path, if you want to walk the path. It feels a lot to me like mental confusion. So it's more or less energy being stagnated. But the thing I can say with this, though, this feels very much like a divine timing kind of thing to me, because I feel there's like an unrest, there's an anxiety in reference to almost like competing energies, if you will. It's almost like as if you were feeling like you feel the unction that you need to do something, right? Or that you need to figure something out, or you need to move forward, or you need to do something different, or what have you, especially those of you who are Taurians, because with it being our solar return time, it's like you always want to kind of, start off on the good foot, if you will, around your birthday season. But it's having this unction of doing something but not knowing what that something is, and that causes almost like a frustration, right? And it's kind of a vibe where you feel like you kind of want to be solitary, go within to try to figure things out. Now the challenge is the Magician in the reverse, and that's Aries energy. So I feel that's kind of what the conflict is. If I were to speak of it this way, like really making it real zodiac related, it's like us coming out of Aries season. You have to think about Aries as like the fire starter, right? So 9 times out of 10, when all of us were in Aries season, and I can totally vouch for that. It's like, you felt like, new beginning, fresh start, like all of these things that you want to do, things that you want to change up, getting, aligned with your gifts, getting in tune with yourself, starting like, a workout kind of thing. But then when Taurus season rolls in, right, everything starts to slow down, right? It's like you're kind of pumping your brakes just because the energy is shifting. So you go from this really quick, swift moving kind of energy to this very like slow, methodical kind of energy, right? And it's understandable with the Six of Swords being here where a sense of frustration can come in, because it's it's almost like, and it's funny what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is this comedy special that Cat Williams did, and he was talking about how his son has ADHD and how he put him on medication, and he was talking about his son always like running, right? And as soon as the medication kicked in, like he was in full stride and then just like sat down on the ground, and he was like, my son sat there for like 12 hours. And I finally went up to him and was like, son, what are you thinking about? And he was like, running, right? Like that's what the energy feels like for me, switching out of Aries season into Taurus season. So it's like you can't go anywhere. You're stuck sitting, but you're thinking about running, right? So and not literally running, but it's like you're thinking about doing something, but you don't, it's like you're stuck. You can't do anything. And the reason for that is because it's legit divine timing. But I feel with this Magician in the reverse, the challenge is of overcoming this feeling of disempowerment. I feel for each of you, it's something slightly different, because I feel like with this pause that we have today and like for the theme of the week, it's more or less like a misperception that you have of yourself or your situation, or what's expected of you, like in friendships, relationships, jobs, for yourself, whatever, you know what I mean? It's kind of like there's an expectation of needing to do something, but because you can't do something, you should just accept it and just kind of chill there and not put the pressure on yourself. Now, for others of you, the Magician in the reverse is speaking to having gifts. So it's like you actually have like gifts that you know about and you're not using them. And the reason why you're not using them is because you don't know how. It's like you don't know where to um you don't know how to practically apply your gifts. You don't know where to practically apply your gifts. You don't know what to channel them into. And I feel that's kind of a level of frustration, because I just feel this energy of like, it feels like a standard, man. It feels like a standard or an expectation that one is putting on themselves. And the thing is that it's not necessary. I feel that, whoever would resonate with this, you feel like it is, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the standard that all of us are holding ourselves to is kind of like an unfair standard or expectation. And the reason why there's this halt or this pause is for us to like come into the realization of that. Now, the cards for the rest of the week for Monday, we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. That would be the plan. That can go two ways though. Tuesday, we have the Six of Wands in the reverse. I see this. Wednesday, we have the Sun in the reverse. Okay. Thursday, good Lord, all these cards are in the reverse. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Sweet Christ. And I don't know why I was thinking about that card yesterday. Well, last night when I was going to bed, I was seeing flashes of that card. Friday, we have the Four of Pentacles. Saturday, we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So here is the dealio here, my beautiful peoples. What this is looking like to me, when I said with this Eight of Swords, this can go one or two ways, right? Because like I said with the theme on Sunday, this is holding yourself to an unfair expectation, right? Because there's some level of unfinished business, like and it goes back to this whole self-concept thing with this Magician. It's like if we were to ask the why, like why, does somebody have gifts and feels not good enough or feels incompetent with using them? Or why is it that we don't know what's next for us, right? And it's usually because of how it is that we're perceiving ourselves. Like we're perceiving ourselves in this sense of less than. And I feel like an Aries season, like I was saying, with that energy being quicker, it's like I feel like we came to conclusions and resolutions about stuff a lot quicker. You know what I mean? Like it's like an Aries season, you can almost like have a problem or, you know, have an argument, you know, with a friend and the resolution was coming like that, or you're conflicted with something with yourself or your life or whatever, and the solutions were coming quick. But the reason why, like, I always start the soul sessions off with the sign season that we're in is because that's more important than you think. It's like, even though each and every one of us all have, like, you know, our own zodiac makeup, you know what I mean? Whatever sign season we're in, we kind of behave like that sign during that time, if you will. And I can tell you, as a Taurus, we don't come to solutions or resolutions quickly about anything. It's like anything that, like, if we're choosing a path to walk or changing jobs, getting a divorce, being in a relationship, right? Like starting a business, anything it is that we do, it's like long drawn out bullshit, right? Like we have to sit and ponder all of the possible best case scenarios, possible worst case scenarios. Like, do I really want to do this over a long term period? Like, does this really fit into my life? How much of myself am I going to have to change to align with this? Like, I'm really into this today, but am I going to give a shit tomorrow? You know, so it's like we have to consider all that stuff, and not even talking about how decisions we make are going to affect people that's in our lives. You know what I'm saying? So I feel with this energy you guys are coming into the week with, a lot of that is this shift from Aries energy into Taurus energy. And it is painstaking. It is totally annoying. Like, I feel you. But with this 8 of Swords, like how this can go one or two ways is, I feel what the whole premise of this is for you guys to come to that realization. So it's like on the lighter end of things, with the 8 of Swords being in reverse, it's like coming out of a mental prison by listening to your heart space. So it's really asking yourself Monday, what do I really want? Like, what's really going to make me happy? Because that's how you break the monotony. Taurus will sit there and go through like the whole ringer of all of this stuff, right? And eventually we'll be like, well, what do I really want to do? You know what I mean? And that's kind of like at the end of the line of questioning what it is that I'm seeing with this, and why I feel like this is almost like spirit being like, hey, by the way, so you're feeling like this on Sunday. This is what the plan is. Like the whole premise of why I had, you know, shut everything down was for you to notice, like, either you believe you can't be happy, or you're, and the thing that my guides are telling me right now, the gift that's being ignored is what the 8 of Swords is talking about, and it's your connection to spirit. So it's like you having intuition. So this whole 6 of Swords thing, even though this is like a temporary pause, it's a temporary pause that's trying to get us to understand that we've been in the 8 of Swords all this time. It's like we're thinking, and not saying all this time like your entire life, but whatever this is speaking to, if it's bleeding over from last week, the last month, whatever the case, for you specifically. But it's more or less, we have been operating more in our brain than we have in our heart space, right? It is your connection to spirit. So it's kind of like spirit working through your free will to help you out. So there's a pause to get you to realize that the true disempowerment is the disconnect from the heart space and your emotions and your intuition. And that's the whole reason why it is that you're stuck, right? Now, when this comes into Tuesday, this can be something that happens in 3D, or this could literally be how it is that you're feeling about yourself. Because I really feel with this, it's a misunderstanding of why the stagnancy is occurring. If that's making sense, it's like, if I were to say it from two sides, there's decisions that were made. This is the byproduct of the decision. And now there's a pause, and it's like, okay, I need to move forward. How do I move forward? Right. Spirit is, you know, graceful and kind and all this good stuff. So spirit is like, okay, well, they made a decision to get here. Let me give them an opportunity to see the truth of the situation. Like, hey, kiddo, you've disconnected from your heart space. You feel what I'm saying? or, you know, you're not using your spiritual gifts, or, you know, you're not following, you know, intuition or whatever the case may be, right? You're not connected to your heart space. The key is to recognize that and to make a decision to change it. But that's where the other interpretation of the Eight of Swords on the reverse comes in, where you get even deeper into the mental mind space, because as opposed to pausing and being like, hey, spirit, help, let me reconnect, it's like, let me try to, you know, analytically figure out what it is that I need to do. Right. And then the rest of this week is panning out in a way where it's kind of living out this self-perception. So the only thing that disempowers us, the challenge, the only thing that disempowers us with the magician truly from spirit's perspective is the fact that we're not connected or listening to our intuition, like we're missing the boat somewhere here. You know what I'm saying? And the pause was to get us to realize that. But if we don't choose to go into the heart space, we stay in the mental space. And with the Six of Wands, it's like that's feeling like a failure. It's like a missed opportunity. It's a delayed opportunity, right? So this could be, some of you guys, like I say, it's two different ways I see this. This could be something that happens in 3D to where you expected to hear back from someone or hear back from a job or, you know, whatever the case, and the information doesn't come in or it's delayed. But it's important to know that delayed does not equal denied. Or if it's just speaking to you feeling like you should have the answer to know how to move forward and you not having it, right? But with Wednesday, this is another important epiphany day here, because the sun in the reverse is, of course, speaking to half-hearted happiness and material happiness, which bleeds over into the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. You know what I'm saying? With the eight, and I was thinking, but like the same exact card in this deck. When I was falling asleep last night, I kept seeing that card. But with this is like focusing on material happiness, right? It's like mental stuff, 3D stuff, what the expectations are of life. But it still goes back to what I was saying, like with that Taurian energy. It's the fact that you don't even like none of this shit anyway, right? Now, with Friday, we have the Four of Pentacles, and that's all about maintaining the status quo. Because I feel like with this, like, and I have to say, dude, y'all know I'm always going to be honest. It's like with all of this, this isn't anything that is happening to you or has anything to do with any other energies or whatever. All of this comes to what it is we're doing to ourselves, right? It's like we're maintaining a status quo of this. It's like us trying to move forward onto a path in life, right? That isn't really something that we want, isn't really something that makes us feel victorious. It's something that causes us a shit ton of anxiety and unrest. You're just literally not happy about it. And with the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, it's all about like, it's like the same old monotonous, like everyday life kind of stuff. It's like that monotony of like, you get up, you have coffee, you have a bagel, you know, you go to work, you know what I'm saying? You go eat lunch at the same place, you come home, you take a shower, you eat dinner, you watch the same TV show, you go to bed, you wake up and you do the same thing all over again. And it's like, it's trying to find out how to level that up or how to maintain that. And dude, this is so weird how I'm trying to get this out of my brain, like how they're showing it to me. It's almost like if you think about the movie Inception, like it's a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. It's like that's how I'm seeing with this energy. Is like the status quo that's being maintained is like a dream within a dream within a dream. It's like you think you're waking up from it, like you think you're waking up from like an unwoke life only, and I'm just saying this hypothetically, but it's like you think you're waking up out of an unwoke life to wake up into yet another dream, because like you waking up wasn't really you waking up, like you're still sleeping, right? But then you wake up into another dream and then you're trying to figure out how to get out of it, but then you're waking up into another dream, into another dream, and another dream. And the whole premise of this is like waking up entirely. But the reason why one can't wake up, and the thing that they're telling me to show, is her face. She's like, her eyes are closed, she's sleeping, like she's maintaining the status quo and doesn't even realize that she's doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I were to look at each one of these days like Inception, this is a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. And the awake person Friday, who's facing the eclipse on Saturday, and I think it's beautiful that it's a solar eclipse. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like you can see the light, you can see the truth of the situation, which is what I really feel is going to happen on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Because with the Ace of Swords and the reverse being here, this is the lies that we're telling ourselves. Like there's a need for a mental breakthrough when you have the Ace of Swords and the reverse. You know what I'm saying? But oh God, this is so crazy. Look at both of these people. Both of their eyes are closed. But even looking at her in the reverse, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the cycle that they're showing me, because they told me to turn the card back around. But it's like yin and yang. But it's like, that's like the dream within the dream within the dream within the dream. It's like and it's almost the same thing. Like I talk about recycled truth, and I don't remember whose soul session I said this in, but I was talking something about, I think that was Libras. Yeah, that was Libras. In Libra soul session, I was talking about it was this whole scenario of them telling the truth to a friend, right? But it's like them being like ashamed or whatever to tell the friend the truth. They were pulling back and holding to themselves. And that's what I feel like what happens, like when we're in isolation from other people. It's like when we don't have like an alternative perspective that comes in, and we're already lying to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Or just like how I say a lot of times with the Four of Pentacles about like your heart chakra and your crown chakra. It's like your crown chakra is spirit trying to send you messages. You know what I'm saying? And if your heart chakra is closed off, you're not receptive. We're seeing that with the Eight of Swords in the reverse. It's like you're not receiving and you're not giving. So you become stagnated, right? And once your heart chakra closes off, because that's like your mixer chakra, once your heart chakra is closed off, then by default, your crown chakra is going to be closed off. So now you're no longer listening to spirit. So the only God that you're left with is your brain. And metaphysically speaking, your whole flesh and the brain that's in your head, that would be considered the devil, right? So this is the same, like it's the lies, it's 3D life. That's the same stuff you're recycling over and over and over and over again. So it's this misperception, and that's the status quo that's being maintained, right? So it's the illusion of forward progress, right? It's like what I said in Capricorn soul session in what was that? It wasn't April. I think it was March. And I talked about them being on the hamster wheel. It's like this is the hamster wheel, right? So it's like it's almost in so many ways everything that it is that we thought we knew, it's all like it's coming from us in some perspective. I'm not saying that everyone's entire life is a lie, right? I feel like this is just speaking to one aspect of your life. It's like you're not seeing something clearly. But what this really looks like to me, this, I don't think this has anything to do with like romantic relationships or like family relationships. I don't feel it has anything to do with that. I feel like this has to do with a person's self-concept and your perception on life. You know what I'm saying? So oh gosh, there's so many examples that they're giving me. It's like, and this is something that Ren knows because she watched it. I don't know if any of you guys watch Mr. Ballin on YouTube, but he has this story about this guy, who, you know, he was in college, he met the love of his life, they got married, they had kids, and you know, they have this big house, they're living this great life. And one night he goes downstairs and like sits on the sofa and he sees this lamp in his den, and it just starts getting bigger and bigger, and he can't stop staring at the lamp. So he's literally staring at the lamp for days. So much so, like, he just can't get up, he can't turn away from it, he stops going to work, like he loses his job, like all this stuff happens, right? Because he just can't stop staring at the lamp. And then all of a sudden he wakes up, and he's laying in the courtyard of his college campus, and he realized like he had a concussion because someone like hit him, and he hit the ground, and none of that stuff had ever happened. So it's like he lived this whole life, like while he was knocked out, it's like he lived this whole life, and it felt so real to him that he was married to this woman and had these kids and all this other kind of stuff, and none of that had ever happened. Like all of this transpired in his brain. It felt like years, but it was literally like 5 minutes. He was knocked out, and all of this stuff ended up happening. It was like, you know, his little coma dream or whatever. And that's like what I'm seeing with this Four of Pentacles. It's like, and I feel with the eclipse, whatever epiphany that'll be had is like the equivalent of this dude waking up and realizing that this whole life that he remembered, felt all of the emotions and everything, this whole life that he remembered never actually happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's trying to come into conclusion with that, because I feel why all of these things have not panned out the way that you hoped, you know what I'm saying, is because of the approach. It's almost like if I were to look at these two cards, it's literally like from the beginning, you've been holding yourself back. You've been keeping yourself in a holding pattern somehow. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even realizing that you're doing it. It's almost like a refusal to wake up, in so many words, because there's some level of safety of how things were approached, you know? But I feel whatever this is we're talking about on Saturday is when you get clarity on that. So that's why I say that, you know, you guys don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything to worry about or to stress about, or like, you know, don't fall back into this energy because it's like, to hear a reading like this, a prime example of this energy would be like, oh no, well, what am I doing? How am I holding myself back? Like, which dream am I in? If you start doing all of that, that means that you're doing this. It's like you're still trying to figure stuff out without just chilling and just offering it up to spirit. It's just like, Lord, I don't know what the next step is. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what it is that Marlo talking about. I have no fucking clue. Right. But I just have faith and trust that you're going to reveal it to me in due time. You know what I'm saying? And eclipse energy lasts for like 3 months. So if you don't get an epiphany on, you know, Saturday, it's like, you know, you got 3 months for you to get some clarity. Now, the thing that my guys were telling me in the beginning, because this is one of those readings where I'm not supposed to give y'all buku stuff, because this is work that y'all have to do. But I'm gonna pick 4 cards because, you know, this is the eclipse oracle, right? So I'm gonna pick 4 cards. You pick number 1, 2, 3, or 4, right? And you pick 1, 2, 3, or 4, and that's going to give you insight into what this truth may be that you guys are going to realize that you've been maintaining the status quo about with this particular eclipse. So go ahead and pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, group 1. Group 2. Oh, hell. Group 3. Group 4. Okie dokie, lemon jokey. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Card avalanche. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Group 1. Group 2. Yeah. Group 3. Group 4. Whoa, hell, Jesus Christ. All right, and lastly, so all of these messages, we can look at these as messages for the week if you like, but I'm really looking at this pick a card for what you guys need to know in reference to this eclipse on Saturday, rounding out our week. Group 1. Oh hell. This is really hard to shuffle this big ass deck. Group 2. Whoa, that is a lot of cards. I'm just gonna take them all, group 2, because I mean y'all are the ones with all these goddamn cards. Okay, group 3. Oh shit. Okay. All right then. And group 4. Oh hell. Oh hell. Okay, okay. Group 3 must have got a little jealous. All right. What's at the bottom of this deck? Oh, well, hell damn Jesus. Look at that. Taurus season. We have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. And that is yet another message about this whole Jacob's Ladder thing. Like, you guys need to, read that Pretty Mystic Weekly. But I think I recorded something for that when we did the little something. I'm going to try to find it and repost it for you guys, because I wanted to start posting our debriefs, as Kamisha calls them, that we do after the lives. And I promise y'all today, I'm legit gonna go into the system and on the network and post up the live so I can stop telling y'all last minute. I was just so excited to go outside yesterday that, I was like, I gotta go outside. But anywho, so if you picked group 1, your eclipse message is guarded. That fits with this right here. And it says closed off, things yet to be revealed, braced, cautious, private, muted, conservation. So I feel with the truth that you guys will see is how you keep recycling stuff, because there's some sense of isolation, and it's not, it's not doing things differently. It's not ascending past that. And that's another thing they're telling me to say with this Hierophant card is this Hierophant card is speaking to ascension. So it's more or less that this is there's a need to ascend to a higher mind state, because the level of this is it's sensory consciousness, and that's why things aren't panning out how you want, in so many words, or there's a lack of fulfillment. The next card is surrender your desire to control people. Being over controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So this is about allowing. And I feel with this guarded card being here, whoever would be in group 1, if there is something that's controlling, or even expectations that you have for other people's behavior and stuff like that, like they should do that, they supposed to do that, they ought to do that, and things of the sort, or even if that's for yourself, it's like that's what keeps you in prison, because if you're holding yourself to this unrealistic standard of who you should, ought, or supposed to be, or to other people, it's like I feel all of that is coming from a place of fear. Like it's the should, ought, supposed to's wanting to control dynamics around other people and stuff like that, because it's wanting to prevent yourself from being hurt. The tea leaf card you guys have is pale. And it says, time to get out of a situation. Child, look, that situation may be your own mind. It might be an actual situation. But I feel what they're telling me is like when I talk about this whole recycling energy, this can be constantly running from stuff. Like, say if you're at a job, right? And you feel like everybody at your job should or are supposed to do this, and you quit that job and go get another job. And then it's like, oh, all these people here like this. And then you're going to quit that job. It's kind of like constantly hopping around and running, thinking that everyone else is like the issue or the problem or, you know, whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about maintaining the status quo, right? Of not being controlled again. So it's like once upon a time you could have been controlled by someone, and you're like, I'll be damned if I ever let anybody else do that to me again, type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And that ends up keeping you in this holding pattern. And it's time to ascend out of that. And it's like the clarity that can come is seeing that connection and overstanding it, right? Now, group 2. That energy was a little heavy. Group 2, first card, we have abandonment, and it says desertion, neglect, withdrawal, and disregard. And the thing that they told me to say is, for some of you, this can relate to abandonment issues, but that's neither here nor there, because this really speaks to a level of abandoning oneself. So that kind of speaks to like this magician in the reverse, or the 6 of wands in the reverse, or the sun in the reverse, because it's half-hearted happiness. So it's kind of feeling like I have to settle for less than I deserve because there's a lack of belief that you can really have what you want. And then that can also be inspired by a fear of losing it. The next card we have is longevity. And it says pacing oneself, long haul, slow and steady, going the distance, stability, strength, courage, staying the course on a plan of action, resolve, movement forward. This also kind of speaks to what this energy is kind of like I picked up with group 1. So if you guys are kind of like going from thing to thing and changing stuff, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna reject you before you reject me. It's more or less saying that now is like 10 toes down. Stop deluding yourself thinking like, oh, I got to get out of this situation. These people bad, like this place bad, whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? And it's like sticking with something, and they're showing me something else. Sticking with something for the long haul. The other thing they're showing me is with this 8 of Pentacles in the reverse too. If you're a person like, if you quit a lot of projects, like say if you pick up a hobby, like you start baking bread and you be abandoning, you know what I'm saying? That stuff. It's like there's something deeper with that where that's like a pathology, because, and it still goes back to this whole self-concept thing. Because the thing I see collectively for everybody this week, this all goes back to like this feeling of disempowerment with the magician in the reverse. And even like with gifts, it's like if you have a gift of creativity, and it's like, and this is so much messages, dude. They're showing me the girl from YouTube who makes cakes that look like real stuff, like it'll look like raw meat, but it's actually like a cake. It's like with this girl in particular, don't ask me how I know all of this. This girl in particular, she went to art school and she wanted to be an artist, right? And it's a specific type of art, like realism art or something like that, that she got into. And then she got into baking cakes, and she married the two things together. So that's why she makes cakes that look like real stuff. But her whole background is like in art and painting, which is the reason why she's able to recreate them to look so real. You know what I'm saying? So and I guess they're saying that in a sense of like a lot of things that you're abandoning, these are things you should have longevity with, because they would all come together ultimately. Even if I were to use myself as an example, it's like I was a news reporter. I left news reporting and I became a whole freaking therapist. But everything I learned about lighting and cameras and, you know, speaking on camera and all that stuff, all that integrates with everything it is that I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? But if it was something like, you know, if I did one episode of Talk That NOLA and quit, you know what I'm saying? Or bought a camera and just quit, you know, started YouTube and quit. It's like, or started graduate school and quit. It's like none of the stuff would be able to come together. So for my group 2 people, it's like the status quo that you're maintaining is consistently abandoning things. But the deeper implication of that is whether this is with other people and you're rejecting them before they reject you. But I feel this more with that magician of the reverse energy, where you're abandoning a lot of gifts and talents and hobbies and stuff that you have. And that's the reason why you've never ascended to the next level of fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a whole bunch of unfinished business, if you will. So it's more or less getting that realization for the eclipse, and you guys sticking with something for the long haul, right? Now, the surrender card you guys have is surrender to non-action. And it says, now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own powers and let others come to you. I think it's interesting that the two of them look a lot alike. You know what I'm saying? But her unicorn horn on fleek, and she listening in the spirit. She is not with her pentacles. But nah, dude, I literally think what this is, if you guys, if there's something, I don't know if y'all were thinking about like quitting something or leaving a job, or, you know, like if you were thinking about making some type of, you know, move this week, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like I feel with this, it's abandonment. Like it's, you would just be abandoning something else that would have you repeat this all over again. You feel what I'm saying? And we don't need no new karmic cycle started. Now, all these damn cards y'all got. The first one, we have moon, changes in your life. Then we have barrel. It says you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. I feel you on that. Then we have tree. It says affairs with your family. Then we have leg, and it says stepping into a new experience. I like all that. Funnel, and it says period of frustrations, lessons to be learned. That's that 6 of swords, and the reverse here. I feel with all this, dude, like this is y'all, like it's seeing that holding pattern and you coming out of it, because all of this, the 6 of wands and the sun in the reverse, it is feeling like something is lacking. And I feel like why y'all jump from thing to thing is because you're trying to find what's lacking, and ain't nothing lacking. You know what I'm saying? It's just the lack thereof. It's almost like creating it for yourself. It's like you feel like something is lacking because you're not sticking with something long enough for it to be anything. You know what I'm saying? Next, we have X, and it says forces working against you. That may very well be what you're thinking, but it's just yourself. Then we have feather, and it says someone you know is unpredictable and insincere. My God said, that's you. I'm sorry. I am just the messenger. Next, we have quill, and it says get back to basics. Yes, basics, like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait, my kid's calling. Hold on one moment. Sorry about that. But get back to basics, like, you know, step A through Z, things like that, group 2. So for my group 3 people, if you pick group 3, the card that you guys have is betrayal. And my God said self-betrayal, breach of trust, dishonesty, and disloyalty. I think this is so fascinating because this entire reading, it has nothing to do with other people. I can see how one would feel that, but like pretty much how they're showing it to me is everything that we're dealing with other people, or how we feel other people treat us, is what we're already doing to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And people are just kind of following suit. So that's the whole thing. It's like all this stuff I was saying, it's like we're projecting that. Like this is a lie we've told ourselves for, and it don't even matter. Don't matter about childhood, what you've been through, all that's irrelevant. It's the fact that what happened to you happened. If somebody betrayed you, past tense, they betrayed you back then, but you're still betraying yourself every day. So the thing is this unfinished business with the 6 of swords, why there's never been any movement forward, is because something that happened past tense disempowered you, made you think away about yourself. And however it is that, you know, another person treated you, you're recreating that in your waking life, right? But you're oblivious to the fact that all of this is coming from you. So you're maintaining that status quo, and you're consistently reliving the same pain over and over and over and over again, and telling yourself the same lies. You feel what I'm saying? Anywho, next cards that we have, and that's a message for everybody, not just group 3. We have surrender to divine timing. I said that with the Six of Swords. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow, child. Look. Next, we have surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passions and let it flow. Yeah, dude, that goes back to what I was saying with that Taurus energy. Like, what makes you happy? Like, what do you really want? Bump all this other stuff, expectations and things. It's like, what do you really want? And I feel like that's how you betray yourself. It's like we betray ourselves by not being connected to spirit or our heart's desires, because it's like you're living a life that was never intended to belong to you, and you sitting up here wondering why you're not happy. That's how you're betraying yourself. I'm just saying. Anywho, next card, we have dog close up, I guess. Pleasure with a close friend. Go outside. Go do something with people. Next, we have skull, and it says hidden secrets can harm you. Secrets keep you sick. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's the stuff, the truths that are not being told to the self. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all betrayed somebody, but I doubt that. I'm pretty sure all of this is all about us. Next, we have butterfly, a change for the better. Absolutely. And lastly, we have angel, spiritual guidance and protection from harm. Yes, you are totally good. I feel like it's time for you guys to transition out of this. It's already preordained for you. Like I said, with that anxious energy for Sunday, it may not be happening when you want it to happen, but dog, just freaking chill. Like, good Lord. You know what I'm saying? Time not running out. You're not about to die or nothing. Anywho, for group 4, first card that you guys have is Dark Night. Ooh, child. Feeling of emptiness, spiritual desolation, or separation from the divine, spiritual depression. Yes, but remember, God never turns God's back on us. We are only the ones who turn our back on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But it's only dark for a night. You know what I'm saying? So this is already confirmation that this is going to change. It's just that, like how I was saying, this energy, this is just something that you're going through temporarily. You feel stuck. You feel like you sucked into this vortex, but none of that is freaking real. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to find the light in the darkness, because the light casts out the darkness, and you are the light, my friend. You have a direct connection. All right, next card. We have surrender to spirit. Child, look, I'm just saying. Once you've done everything you can do to achieve a goal, turn a situation over to the divine and let spirit work its magic for you. What did I just say? What the hell I just said? What did I just say? Okay. Next, surrender to miracles. Y'all just got a whole little spiritual message. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. See, that's the status quo that y'all maintain. You know, God don't bless me. I'm not special. Things like that don't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Next card, we have surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. That's what I'm saying. Dude, y'all being called out, group 4. Literally, this whole message, right, is that spiritual element I was talking about in all of this, is that disconnect is living in the sensory consciousness, right? It's having this perspective of either settling for less or that good things can't happen to you. And I feel there's a need. So it's like you're worrying, 4 of Pentacles, because you're feeling like you have to do everything by yourself, and you're working hard and ends aren't meeting, and you're just not happy, and you can't figure out what it is. And I need to do something different. I got to figure out how I'm gonna get more money, but it's like all of that stuff. And it's not even including spirit in any of that. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel that's why, like with the emptiness they talk about with this, the sun in the reverse, it's like, it's a half-hearted happiness. It's settling for less than you deserve, but it's being like in a place of darkness almost. You know what I'm saying? And the next card you guys have is flag. And it says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. What the hell did I just say? This is lowered standards. Okay. This is settling for less than you deserve, right? It's time to start believing that you deserve better than what you've had, because I feel like that's the lie that you guys have been telling yourself. You got to do it all on your own. And, you just settle for the little crumbs because you don't deserve any better than that. And that's just a goddamn lie. You know what I'm saying? But that has been your weekly. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. As always, I love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.